It's over. We were only able to beat her because of you. This wasn't the conclusion I had hoped for, even though I... Never mind. It's over now. The important thing is that we won.
Here, boy. A letter. An Imperial General asked me to give it to you.
A letter? Let's see it. It looks like it's from Hubert, Edelgard's vassal.
If you are reading this letter, that means I have perished. As Her Majesty would never surrender to another, I can only assume she has fallen as well. It greatly pains me to think of this coming to pass. That said, as the survivors, I must ask you to settle certain affairs in our stead. You must destroy the threat that slithers in the dark. I am sure you must recall Monica and Tomas. Their allies yet live. They hold deep resentment against the children of the goddess and the people of the world, and they are biding their time until they can exact revenge. If left to their own devices, it is certain they will eventually bring unimaginable calamity and suffering to the world. I detected their sorcery when you took Fort Mercius. I have deduced the location of their stronghold, Shambhala. You will find its whereabouts enclosed. There is no question that they are the enemies of everyone in Fodlan. Do not allow yourselves to forget that. Lastly, while I cannot say she is in good health, the Archbishop resides in a secret chamber in the Imperial Palace. I have shared the location of the entrance to that secret chamber with the person to whom I have entrusted this letter. I believe that Her Majesty will be victorious. Even still, I must plan for her defeat as well. If you wish to lead this world, I challenge you to rise to the occasion and surpass my estimation of you. Such is your obligation as the victors, and the only fitting tribute to all that Lady Edelgard sacrificed.
Hubert, to leave a letter like this behind. You were a better man than I believed you to be. So, Rhea is alive, and the fight isn't over yet. Those who slither in the dark. It sounds like Fodlan will never know peace unless we defeat them. The allies of Monica and Tomas, well, we knew about them already. I think it's safe to assume this is the same group who used Lysithea for their blood experiments. And they were also responsible for the javelins of light that destroyed the fortress. But who are these children of the goddess who they supposedly resent? There's just not enough information here. I don't suppose there's any chance that this is his idea of a prank. If so, wow, good one. Hubert, rather than writing a letter, you should have just told us before we fought. Right. We still don't know for sure if this letter is telling the truth. Let's go find out.
You have come to save me. Is this a dream? I have longed to see you again, all this time. Is it truly you? Claude, I can see you have grown into a reliable young man. Thank you for supporting the Professor, and for rescuing me. Surely the protection of the goddess has...
Wait, Rhea. What do you know about the children of the goddess?
Children of... What is this about?
Forgive my bluntness. Someone from the Empire filled us in on a few things. I know it must be painful for us to ask you difficult questions after such an arduous confinement. But we have no choice. We must defeat a secret enemy. Those who slither in the dark. Do you know about them?
Those who slither in the dark.
Apparently, they resent the children of the goddess and the people of the world, and are planning something big, something terrible. They use blood for their wicked magic and are capable of dropping javelins of light from the sky, which are powerful enough to crush a fortress. If you can think of anything at all, please tell us now. We need to know as much as possible about these enemies in order to stop them. This is the critical moment that will determine whether or not Fodlan falls. Can't you see that the time for secrets has passed?
It is true that there is a group of people who have slithered in the darkness and threatened the peace of Fodlan since ancient times. I am sure you have heard the stories of a man named Nemesis.
Nemesis, the King of Liberation. He's the hero to whom the goddess gave the Sword of the Creator.
Nemesis was originally the leader of a group of bandits. He plundered the Holy Tomb and stole the remains of the progenitor god. When Nemesis appeared in Xanadu some time later, he already wielded the Sword of the Creator.
According to legend, the goddess gifted him the sword to fight against the evil gods.
I do not know how Nemesis obtained the sword, or why he appeared in Xanadu, but he used that sword to massacre the people there, the children of the progenitor god. From their corpses he gained even more power, and brought war to Fodlan.
That's completely different from what the legends tell us about Nemesis.
A mere bandit like Nemesis would not have been capable of anything so monstrous on his own.
Aha! So Nemesis had accomplices. And those accomplices must have been those who slither in the dark. They used Nemesis. And this time, they used the Imperial Army to once again bring war to Fodlan. I finally get it. And I even understand why Edelgard was associating with them. Just as they were trying to use the Empire was trying to use them. Rhea, there's still a mountain of things I need to ask you, and I will. But I'll leave all of that for another day. You must be weak after living in confinement for so long. Please rest for a while. My friend, let's prepare for battle. We need to strike Shambhala as soon as possible.
You must not allow Fodlan's bloody history, the Red Canyon tragedy, to repeat itself.
It occurs to me that we never got an answer from Rhea about the children of the goddess. She did say that the people of the Red Canyon were the children of the progenitor god, so I suppose so. But those evil guys continued to plot their revenge even after the Red Canyon tragedy. Does that mean some of the children of the goddess, or their descendants, are still alive? If there's something special about her blood, we can't rule out the possibility. What are these children anyway, and how are they connected to the goddess? I almost disappeared into the bottomless swamp that is my mind. I thought that after we defeated the Empire, I'd be able to see that sight I longed to see. I've told you about my dreams before. I want to break down the wall separating Fodlan from the outside world. The sight I want to see lies beyond that. Honestly, it's a trivial thing to fixate on. Just people, gathered in their towns, living out their lives together, sometimes laughing, sometimes fighting. But the people living there aren't just citizens of Fodlan. There are people from Dagda, Brigid, and even Dusker and Srang. There could be people who were born in Elmira or countries even farther east there, too. All of those people living together like it's nothing special at all. That's the sight I long to see. It's so simple, but still so far away. But this is no time for complaining. We need to focus on capturing Shambhala. Let's hurry up and gather everyone together.
So, you mean to tell me that Fodlan will fall to ruin if we leave those guys be?
If this map is reliable, their base is just south of my family's territory.
This story is a bit much to believe. And yet...
It does ring true, somehow.
Remember Monica, the one who killed Geralt, and the old man who was masquerading as Tomas? They were their allies, and the Flame Emperor and the Death Knight were merely their pawns.
The people who were after my blood?
They were also the ones who used me to conduct their blood experiments.
As awful as it sounds, they're seemingly fond of using blood in their secret techniques.
Ugh, that's really gross. I could never be friends with someone like that.
I believe they were also responsible for the Javelin of Light that destroyed Fort Mercius.
Hold up, boy. Do you really think that we can win against such powerful foes?
I don't know. But we have to try, don't we?
Since Edelgard can't do it, I guess it falls to us.
They were trying to use the Imperial Army to plunge Fodlan into war, but we nipped that in the bud. Now we just need to tear out their roots. And I know we have what it takes to do it.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Blue Sea Moon. The city without light. Immediately following Edelgard's defeat, the Alliance Army discovers the existence of another adversary, a group operating behind the scenes within the Empire. Claude suspects that if the true enemy is left unchecked, disaster will befall Fodlan, and so he cuts short the celebration and the troops head for Shambhala, where this foe resides.
I just don't get it.
What is it, Claude?
Those Javelins of Light, they were trying to use it to kill us at Fort Mercius, right? But then why not drop it on Garreg Mach? They must have known for a while that we were here.
It is not that they chose to refrain, but rather that they were unable to do so.
Rhea, how are you feeling?
I am well enough. I cannot afford to rest while Fodlan is in danger.
What do you mean when you say they couldn't drop a Javelin of Light here?
Once, a very long time ago, a massive ball of light fell upon this monastery. However, that light mysteriously changed course in mid-air and landed in Aelel instead.
ALL, the Valley of Torment. So that's what the wreckage of those Javelins of Light looks like.
The Holy Tomb is not only the location of the progenitor god's eternal slumber, but also a sacred vessel for a power that repels evil. Supposedly, the progenitor god built the Holy Tomb herself to protect her children from the evil light.
So the children of the goddess gathered in Xanadu because of its proximity to the monastery? But we've fought at distant locations many times.
Despite that, the Javelins of Light only fell on Fort Mercius.
In his letter, Hubert said that he detected their magic when the fort fell. In other words, because they used a Javelin of Light, Hubert was able to pinpoint the location of their base.
So they didn't use it before then because they didn't want us to know where their base is?
In any case, those Javelins of Light must be something they can't just use whenever they want. And they finally decided to use one at Mercius, where they were sure they'd be able to finish us off. It's only thanks to the whims of the Death Knight that we escaped with our lives. And no Javelins of Light have fallen since then.
It's possible that the enemy hasn't yet realized that we've learned the location of their base.
If so, their guard may be down, which makes this the perfect time for a surprise attack.
I will accompany you.
What? No, that would be far too dangerous. Your long confinement weakened you greatly, did it not?
Those people have opposed us since ancient times. I wish to learn the truth about them for myself.
I understand. I will not stop you, but please take care not to overexert yourself.
We don't know exactly what we're up against here, but having you around is very reassuring, Rhea. Let's prepare to strike at Shambhala before they make their next move.
This war might be over, but not war in general. Human beings thrive on conflict. We can't get enough of it. I don't know when, but you know someday another war will begin. Yeah, but the fight is still worth it. War may always come back, but so will peace. And peace is what we fight for.
I thought that after the Empire fell, the Boar might finally be avenged. But something dark is certainly lurking in the shadows. An organization behind the Empire. We'll have to take care of them if the Boar... if Dmitri is to rest in peace.
With Edelgard gone, maybe Fodlan will finally find some peace. That's all well and good, but, she was also the one to put my father under house arrest. So now he's been released and he's taken charge of House Varley. I can't handle it. I can't deal with him. Please, you have to do something. Thank you so much.
Finally, that awful war is over. Everyone lost something, and everyone had to make sacrifices. But maybe we can put a stop to all of this pain and loss now. Let's hurry to Shambhala, Professor. We have to defeat them if we ever want to see a world without war.
I thought that taking the Empire's capital would bring an end to this war. How naive of me. I'll have to write to my family and tell them I'll be gone a while longer.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. I can hardly believe you managed to handle the capital city like that. Everyone did sterling work. I really thought we'd know peace after that battle. But we're not quite there yet, huh?
I thought the war would end with Edelgard's defeat. But that wasn't the case. This may be premature, but I'm feeling a little relieved. I have to consider what I'll do with myself, and where I'll go when this war is finally over. I don't have an answer yet. Let's make sure the next battle puts an end to this war. That way, we can all move forward.
So Lady Rhea was all right after all. Well done bringing her back safely. Finally, us true believers may breathe easy again. Simply magnificent. You're saying the fight isn't over yet?
A mysterious organization, slithering in the dark of Fodlan, like something out of a midnight tale. It appears these fiends have infiltrated the deepest corners of the Empire. After the fall of Enbar, they've remained well concealed. That said, I would keep an eye on Edelgard's uncle, Lord Arundel. Something about him sits ill with me.
The folks we're fighting next aren't normal humans, are they? It's that group who caused the Javelin of Light to fall, right? It just doesn't seem like something a human is capable of. I'm not prone to flinching, but I don't feel great about any of this.
Dedu saw to it that Edelgard was destroyed before he departed. His expression once his mission was over was a bit lonely. I don't know where he went off to after that. Maybe he returned home to Dusker.
As history proves, everything comes to an end eventually. I knew that all along, but it still came as a surprise. Those who slither in the dark. It's all so fascinating and strange. They must certainly have a long history of their own. And when they fall, that will come quickly too, don't you think? That almost sounded like a prophecy there. Am I spooking you yet?
We have succeeded in rescuing Lady Rhea, but Seteth's countenance remains clouded. When will peaceful days return to this monastery? That time feels so distant.
Lady Rhea still seems weak, but at least she's safe now. I'm praying that she'll be well as soon as possible. Goddess, I beg you, protect Lady Rhea.
He's dead. My father's dead. I'm okay, though. Really. I was ready for it. He was a general in the Imperial Army, after all. Minister of Military Affairs. He gave his own life so the Empire's soldiers wouldn't have to lose theirs. That's a fight that only he could take on. He was such a tough guy. This whole time, I fought side by side with you and Claude. But did I ever get any stronger? Will I ever be as strong as my father?
These are Monica's people, aren't they? The ones who killed Captain Geralt. Then this is my real opportunity for revenge. There's no way I can back down from this one. If we lose, it's the end for Fodlan, so we have to win, even if it kills us.
We saved Rhea and the Empire has crumbled. The kingdom may as well be finished too. The reasons for me to remain in Fodlan are fading. That's a little hasty. I've come this far. May as well see it through to the end.
So, the moment we defeat 80, the nobles cozy up to the Alliance and Church. That lot really does think only of themselves and no one else. But then there's Count Burgleys. He used to be Minister of Military Affairs. He sacrificed his own life so that all the soldiers and officers who fought could be given quarter. When I heard that, I don't know, that simple act of humanity, I couldn't help it. I burst into tears. You know Count Burgleys is Caspar's father, right? I can't even imagine how Caspar must feel about it.
Wake up, eat, train, eat, sleep. We gotta prepare for the assault, but that hasn't changed my routine. All that training and eating I do is for the sake of Fodlan. Gotta stay strong and fed to keep it safe.
We won against the Imperial Army. I still can't believe it. But I guess we still have some enemies left. I'm not well informed, but I have plenty of fighting spirit.
We crushed the Empire at long last. But there's no time to bask in our victory. We must prepare for the coming battle. We knew there was a secret group behind the Imperial Army all this time. Now we have a chance to make the first move against them. We have Hubert to thank for that. It's also thanks to him that we were able to rescue Rhea. I still have plenty of questions I'd like to ask her. Sadly, I agree. After we return from the next battle, we'll ask her all of our burning questions. Rhea's the only one who gets a break, though. Everyone else had better start preparing for battle.
Count Burgles, the Minister of Military Affairs, was applying pressure in the west, but he surrendered after the Empire fell. Cornelia of the Fargus Dukedom seems to have disappeared from the palace, and rather swiftly. They must have realized that the revival of the Old Kingdom was a real threat.
A mysterious power threatening the very future of Fodlan? Certainly we cannot give it leeway. In comparison to this, the internal power struggles in the Alliance are utterly trivial. There is simply no option but victory. The alternative is unthinkable. Perhaps I will have the opportunity to strike the decisive blow on the enemy commander. Oh, that would secure my place in history for certain.
You did it. I never thought I'd live to see the day that the Empire was conquered. I thought that would put an end to the war. But I hear there are still hostile forces to contend with. I hope you'll be able to put an end to this conflict, and found a new Fodlan in which the free market can thrive.
You've done it. You did it. You crushed the Empire and rescued Lady Rhea. I'm sure the Captain is proud of you right now. As am I, of course. I'm as proud as if I'd done it myself. Sorry, I didn't mean to overdo it. We still have to deal with Monica's group. Those who killed the Captain. We'll knock them down so hard that they can't get back up.
We've all heard the legend of Nemesis, the King of Liberation. But now Lady Rhea is saying Nemesis was just some kind of thief. Those two descriptions are totally at odds. Which version's correct? I don't know what to think. But I guess that's the nature of history. I wonder what the generations that come after us will say about the battle we're about to fight.
I heard that Lady Rhea's back. But why hasn't she shown herself to everyone yet? Oh, she's convalescing. Fair enough. She was in captivity for a long time. I pray that she feels better soon.
We finally got Lady Rhea back from the Empire and fulfilled our mission. I wish we could afford for her to have a good long rest, but that just isn't possible.
Is it really prudent to bring Lady Rhea on our upcoming expedition? It would be best not to have her doing anything strenuous, considering how long she was confined. There are still many in Fodlan who are seeking Lady Rhea's salvation. For their sake, we cannot put her in harm's way.
Shambhala, it was called, right? Scary that it's so close to the House Goneril territories. Who'd have thought all those creeps were living right under my nose? I was hoping my big brother would help us in this next battle. But he says that I can represent House Goneril without his help. that I have it in me. I'm glad he recognizes that I have some ability. Still, I wish he wasn't leaving it all to me. Those who slither in the dark, it seems, will finally discover their true form. I get the sense that they're in league with the mages who experimented on me as a child. I wouldn't be surprised if Edelgard was subjected to them too. There's no telling what their true motives are. But whatever their motives, what they have done is unforgivable. They must be exterminated.
I am so glad that Rhea is unharmed. My brother continues to worry about her, however. Of course, I am worried myself. I cannot imagine being in that situation while in such a state. She should just leave things to you and Claude and get the rest she needs.
We rescued Lady Rhea. I can hardly express my joy. But now we know about a new foe who intends to bring her harm. In time, we'll realize the peaceful world that Lady Rhea has always hoped for. I'll have to keep that in mind when I'm fighting.
Fighting against enemies whose true nature is unknown is honestly really scary. Still, if there's a force in this world that clearly means us harm, we have no choice but to fight back. With our own hands, we'll safeguard Fodlan's future.
The Empire is broken in smithereens. Now it is possible for me to go back to Brigid. But I cannot choose that choice. The time is still too soon for that. We must be stopping the evil for everyone in Fodlan. We will be fighting until the end of it.
Our next opponent is an ally of Solon. Do you remember what Solon called us? That's right. He called us beasts. Meanwhile, he refers to himself as the Savior. Who exactly is he saving?
The history of the Empire spans 1,185 years. And just like that, it ends. But the Hresfelg legacy could live on. When Edelgard assumed power, there were no other rightful heirs. She said that whoever takes the throne next should do so by virtue of merit, not blood. And she truly meant what she said. At any rate, I feel that a huge hole has opened up in my heart. Who knows if it can ever be filled?
Lady Rhea's back! Lady Rhea's back! I'm so happy! But things aren't gonna be like they used to be anytime soon, are they? There's still folks out there that want us all dead, and Lady Rhea still hasn't regained her strength yet. Speaking of which, Professor, please don't ask too much of her right now, okay?
Rhea is sleeping right now. If it is not absolutely urgent, please do not disturb her rest. The long confinement took its toll on her health. Truthfully, she is in no shape to be exerting herself at all, to say nothing of a military expedition. To make matters worse, we are now facing a very old enemy. One that has conspired against us since time out of mind. Please proceed with caution. I have a bad feeling.
Professor, most of the opera company fled, but they're back in the capital now.
I don't know if everyone survived, but it looks like they should be able to mount a revival. They even asked if I'd consider making a return to the stage someday. I suspect I may refuse, though. We're at the dawn of something new. No reason to look backwards, eh?
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. I hear we conquered the Imperial capital, but the war's still not over? Not sure how much sense that makes, but then making sense of things isn't my job. Look out for yourself in the next battle, got it? I'll have lots more things to report by then. That's a promise. In the meantime, I'll be cheering you on.
Nothing tastes better than a drink to celebrate the fall of the Empire. You know, Fraldarius, one of the 10 elites, is a distant ancestor of mine. Even if the kingdom as we know it no longer exists, there's a poetic justice in taking the Empire down.
Whatever threatens Fodlan also threatens my dream. This folly must end now. You go to war harboring such doubts? Pray keep these faint-hearted ruminations to yourself. What is frightening is to have scant idea of what is in store. Now that we know, victory shall be ours.
Sounds like there were shenanigans happening behind the scenes in the Empire. I think war was basically inevitable no matter what Eddie did, with those creeps pulling the strings. Come to think of it, I wonder if the lady who kidnapped me was... Never mind. Not worth mentioning.
I've got a message for you. From a dead man. The Emperor was keeping the Archbishop alive as insurance against those who slither in the dark. When you go to Shambhala, the message says, take the Archbishop with you.
Slithering in darkness. Unsettling, to say the least. You must be boiling to avenge your father, though. I've got to say, I wish you were a little more fiery about all this. Though, I suppose a lot of time has passed since your father died. I imagine this battle will be a defining moment in history. All or nothing. Let's do this.
I thought defeating the Empire would be the end of it. But now we're after some mysterious shadow organization? For crying out loud. If only Holst had come along for the ride. But he's working out things with Elmira or something, yeah? Even so, maybe we better warn him about those who whatever in the dark. They might be whatevering in his neck of the woods too. Me aside, no one's on the same level as Holst. If the Alliance is attacked while he's gone, they'll be in trouble.
Relying on a map entrusted to them by Hubert, the Alliance army sets their sights on the base belonging to those who slither in the dark. Beyond its entrance, they are met by a sprawling underground city.
Incredible! Who knew that there was such a vast space beneath the ground?
It's like an underground city. I've never seen buildings like these before.
It's like an ancient ruin. but not just because of its appearance.
I don't recall ever seeing architecture like this.
It is magnificent in a sense, but I could hardly call it beautiful. Even the air feels stagnant.
In any case, it seems like we need to go deeper. Let's look around and see if we can find some stairs.
No. It is simply, we must defeat those who slither in the dark, no matter what happens. But if my conjecture is correct, the one who they will wish to kill the most is you, dear child. They are aware that you can use the sword of the Creator. Your body houses the same power they once bestowed upon Nemesis. That is why I fear for you. Perhaps. Please forgive my errant thoughts. Once this battle is over, I will explain everything. I will tell you all I know about who you really are.
For thousands of years, we have existed underground, living on only that we might someday see our vengeance realized. Here and now, that vengeance is finally within our grasp. There is but one thing left to do. Destroy them! Damn those who stand with that arrogant goddess to oblivion, away from the world of the living! Now is the time. Remove the binding spell of Titanus. Let their metal bodies be drenched in blood!
Hey, what are those big things?
Demonic beasts? No, I think not. They appear to have no will of their own. Someone must be controlling them.
Initiate all that remain! We must advance our preparations! Viscum activated. Increase output gradually, depending on the amount of magical energy charged. I don't care if we destroy Shambhala, so long as our goals are fulfilled. You're nothing but animals, performing tricks in the hopes of pleasing the goddess. You will never see the sunlight again! Ha! It is laughable that base animals such as you would bear fangs at the likes of us.
I may be a base animal, but I have strong allies. Do you think you can beat Teach and the Sword of the Creator?
The Sword of the Creator. The blade given to Nemesis. Who do you really think is superior?
There's a big difference between the living and the dead. The fate of the future lies in the hands of the living.
So you have shown yourself, Fellstar. Or should I say, Sothis. I will spill every drop of blood in your body to fulfill the long-standing goal of the Agarthans.
Hang in there, Lady Rhea. Get her to her room, quickly!
That's a serious injury. It's a miracle that she's even alive right now. I'll do what I can, but
Goddess, please save Lady Rhea.
All we can do now is pray.
Remember when this place was taken 5 years ago and a pure white beast appeared on the battlefield? I only caught a glimpse of it, but I didn't understand where it came from. There were rumors that the goddess sent it to protect the monastery. But now I know better. That beast was Rhea. Did you know Rhea's true identity? I once showed you a picture of a creature known as the Immaculate One. Sedith confiscated it, saying it must have been one of Tomas's personal possessions. The beast that appeared back then looked just like it, so Rhea is the Immaculate One. The book said that it was a servant of the goddess, but wouldn't it make sense if beasts like that are actually children of the goddess? Rhea is in a grim state right now. It's possible she may not make it, but we have things we must ask her about. Once things calm down a little, let's go and see Rhea. Together. The truth can't be delayed any longer.
Part 2. Verdant Wind. Verdant Rain Moon. Fodlan's New Dawn. With the destruction of Shambhala, the ambitions of those who slither in the dark are forever shattered. However, Rhea has suffered grievous injuries in the process. Yet, certain mysteries remain unsolved, so Claude and the others approach Rhea, who is now confined to her room due to her wounds.
I am happy to see you two.
Sorry to interrupt your rest, but there are some things that we absolutely must ask you.
It seems I do not have much time left. I do not intend to hide anything any longer.
Rhea, I have to ask, you're the Immaculate One, aren't you? If what I'm thinking is correct, that's what the children of the goddess is referring to. In other words, you...
I am the last child of the progenitor god. A long time ago, the progenitor god came from somewhere far away and descended upon this continent. She changed her form to resemble that of a human and gave her own blood to birth her children. The progenitor god and her children shared knowledge and skills with the people of the land. Together, they built a prosperous civilization. But the humans turned their backs on the teachings of the progenitor god and engaged in senseless wars. Eventually, people began to think of themselves as gods and challenged the progenitor god herself to battle. The land was scorched in the war that ensued, and the majority of humans were annihilated. I believe that those who slither in the dark are the descendants of those who retreated beneath the ground during that time.
So they'd been waiting all that time for their chance at revenge.
It took the progenitor god an astonishing amount of time to revive the ravaged world. But eventually, the continent found peace again, and the progenitor god, having fulfilled her duty, fell into a long slumber in the holy tomb. The children who stayed behind built a settlement in Xanadu to protect the holy tomb as they quietly lived out their lives. But then, Nemesis appeared, bringing tragedy along with him. Even now, I cannot forget the sight of that massive canyon painted red with blood. I was never able to forgive those who proudly wielded weapons crafted from the corpses of my brethren. I was the only survivor of Xanadu, and all I could do was wander across Fodlan, clinging to my desperate desire for revenge. I called myself Seros, fostered the founding of the Empire, and prepared to oppose Nemesis and his followers.
Unbelievable.
I put Xanadu behind me to gather the remaining children who were scattered across Vodlin. Finally, we killed Nemesis on the Tailteen Plains, and I took back the Sword of the Creator.
Let me get this straight. Saint Seros is you? You're kidding me, right?
Professor, Claude, there's something you need to hear right away.
If you have something to report, do so at once. There is no need to let my presence worry you.
As you wish. We're receiving a constant stream of express messengers from cities to the east. They claim that an unidentified military force is attacking, and that there have already been a large number of casualties.
What?
The reports indicate that the cities and towns along the East Gronder thoroughfare in the Old Hrim territory have already been destroyed. Some villages were razed completely, leaving no survivors.
Damn it! Did they come from Shambhala? Could it be that there were some remnants of that wicked group hiding there?
I have a report. The unidentified military force has crossed the Great Bridge of Myrden. Alliance forces met them in battle, but it seems they have already broken through.
They've already made it so far. Is Count Gloucester unharmed?
The Count is fine, but apparently my brother joined with reinforcements and was gravely injured.
You mean to tell me they easily got past a general as skilled as Holst?
They say the enemy general has a weapon that resembles the Sword of the Creator. Even my brother was powerless to stop him.
That's not possible.
The enemy forces are flying a banner bearing the crest of flames as they continue their march west along the Aramid River.
We believe they're marching toward Garreg Mach. We are preparing to meet them in battle.
A weapon that resembles the Sword of the Creator, and banner bearing the crest of flames. There is only one explanation. The one leading the enemy force is Nemesis himself.
Nemesis? That Nemesis? Do you really think the ancient king of liberation has been brought back to life?
Perhaps the seal was broken when Shambhala fell. An incredible power that we children cannot hope to match dwells within the blood of the progenitor god. Nemesis obtained that blood, so it would not surprise me if that were the case.
The blood of the progenitor god. That's right. He did take the remains from the holy tomb, didn't he?
From the blood of the progenitor god, Sothis, he acquired the crest of flames. From her bones and heart, he crafted the Sword of the Creator.
The Sword of the Creator is made from her bones and heart?
The heart of Sothis is the crest stone that was placed in the Sword of the Creator. The same is true of the crests of the 10 elites and the other crest stones. They were born of the blood and hearts of the progenitor god's children. Those who slither in the dark created them, stole them. Sothis never gifted that power to the humans.
The crests of the 10 elites, the crest stones, and the heroes' relics. I can't believe those who slither in the dark made them all. And after that, Nemesis used the Sword of the Creator to massacre all of the progenitor god's children in Xanadu. In other words, the citizens of Xanadu were killed by weapons made from the remains of their brethren. How atrocious. But I don't get it. The Sword of the Creator that Teach wields doesn't have a crest stone. So how is Teach able to wield its full power?
The crest stone of the progenitor god dwells within your professor. After I battled with Nemesis as Saint Seros, I reclaimed the heart of Sothis. I wanted to use that heart to resurrect her, even though I had to do some questionable things to achieve that goal. I wished to see Sothis, my mother, once more. Yes, I believed that if I could resurrect my mother, I could regain all that had been lost.
So, that's the truth of it.
I suspected that your body housed the consciousness of Sothis. Those suspicions were correct. And yet, she merely gave you her power and vanished. My dearest wish did not come true. But you did inherit the power of the progenitor god. Now, you must use that power to defeat Nemesis once and for all. Fodlan's blood-stained history must end.
Ghosts rising up from the ancient ruins. No matter how hard we push back, they don't stop coming. They're persistent. I'll give them that.
I try not to think about what would happen if Lady Rhea were harmed. I can't bear the thought of it. I'm not sure why the Fell King Nemesis picked right now to come back to life. But it makes me angry, that's for sure. Let's kick him back down into the dirt where he belongs.
Everyone in Fodlan's united, but the what's-her-faces in the dark or whatever won't let up. Let's get rid of them right away. I know that. Come on, let's go train so we can crush them. There's not a lot of time, but I'm afraid we won't win if we don't train.
I thought the fighting was over, but it seems I will have the honor of fighting beside you a while yet. I may just be a humble soldier, but I will give everything I have for the defense of Fodlan.
I can feel a weight in the air. It is different from before. I do not know this Nemesis person, except what I have been reading. But I am not of Fodlan. My knowledge of this person is very little. Even so, I feel that I can understand it. I know that our enemy has great strength. I am feeling great fear for this battle. You have fear too? You do not look like you do. I have gratitude. I mean, I am grateful that you told me.
The King of Liberation? The Fell King? His name is Nemesis, right? And he was hidden away for over 1,000 years. Wow, that's a really long time all to himself. But that doesn't make him worth admiring, no matter how much I envy him. Maybe? Is that a trick question?
Nope. That's why I'm meditating. Just when I think the war is over, it starts right back up again. This is the second time that's happened. Meditating is all I can do to hold myself together right now.
I keep thinking the war is near its end, then it isn't. When can we finally put this dreadful war behind us? I suppose you're right. But we should still try our best to make the world a place where children can grow up happy and safe.
I thought I'd be able to move a lot of merchandise with a big sale to commemorate the beginning of the new age of peace. But until you've taken care of Nemesis, I'm just going to have to maintain my usual prices.
Seems like the war is gonna end soon.
Once the dust settles, it'll be back to rolling in fat stacks of gold for me.
Professor, I just have to say thanks. For everything. I'm on high alert today, so don't you worry about a thing. This mysterious military force approaching Garreg Mach. Is it true that Nemesis is with them? It was Nemesis who led the 10 elites against St. Saros. It's the stuff of legend. But this time he won't have the 10 elites on his side, right? He won't, right?
Nothing but unsettling news lately. One crisis after another. My fellow soldiers all seem strangely calm about it. Perhaps it's just because we all believe in you so much. With you around, we know everything will work out.
Did you hear? Our enemy is Nemesis. Unbelievable! It sounds crazy, but there's no laughing it off. We must make our move before they reach the monastery.
We thought we'd taken down the mastermind of this war, and then the fell king Nemesis shows up. Well, no matter what evil creatures we have to face, this old soul will keep defending Garreg Mach. Not only Garreg Mach, though. Also Lady Rhea. Also you. I think Gerald would be saying the same kind of thing if he were here right now.
I can hardly believe we're going to go up against Nemesis. Unfortunately, my doubt won't change the situation. There's nothing for it but to prepare for battle. We must protect Lady Rhea.
We went through all that trouble to finish the war, and now we have to fight again? What does this Nemesis fellow have against Garreg Mach anyway? Well, it doesn't make much sense to me either. At any rate, I'll do what I can to defend the monastery and Lady Rhea.
Is Lady Rhea okay? She was quite weakened to start, and then she took all those heavy injuries. I don't want to imagine it, but what will happen if Lady Rhea passes away like this? Yes, I'm praying every day that she'll get well as soon as possible. Come what may, we should all combine our talents and defend the peace of Fodlan. Just when we thought we made it to the end, another enemy approaches. Can we be sure this battle is the last one? I think you're right. Just a little further to the end. Come on, Professor. We have to win.
Once Lady Rhea is fully recovered, she will resume her role as the Archbishop of the Church. Once she's in her rightful place, we'll need a sovereign to lead all of Fodlan. I think you or Claude would be ideal.
Shambhala is destroyed. But are they vanquished entirely, I wonder? Just as Kranya took Monica's form. Perhaps there are some others living above ground. Once this battle is over, I still have much to see to. But right now, I should focus on the task at hand, on Nemesis. As long as Nemesis stands, Both my future and the future of Fodlan hang in the balance.
Huh. What a magnificent tale. It's enough to make your head spin. Rhea's real identity is Saint Seros, and the one who attacked us was Nemesis, the King of Liberation. On top of that, you've got the heart of the goddess in you. My flabber is completely gasted right now. But now isn't the time for standing around in disbelief. Nemesis has made it this far for a reason. If we aren't victorious, that's it for Fodlan's new dawn. The world will be forever shrouded in darkness. This is the final battle. Finally. My friend, please give it your all out there.
Just when we think we're in the clear, the legendary Fell King resurrects. Who'd have thought it? Can you handle this getting any weirder? I don't know if I can. I'm going to survive. I've spent this whole war afraid I'd die. Not anymore. I'm going to live. I mean, I'll still fight like I want to die, because that's worked so far, and why change at this late date, right? And if I'm right, and I don't die, would you go have dinner with me sometime?
The javelins of light that destroyed Fort Mercius. They are what destroyed Shambhala. They were trying to shroud the city in darkness. Perhaps they were planning to swallow us up in that same darkness. Maybe the javelins of light were a signal to Nemesis, to awaken him from his long slumber. What do you think, Professor? Oh, really? Maybe I got a couple of things wrong, but I thought I was pretty close. If we keep up this momentum, we will be able to take down Nemesis and restore peace in Fodlan.
Hey, Professor. Have you heard from Claude? He says he's gonna throw a feast if we win the next battle. Enough food to clean out the stores. So I'm super motivated to win. I'm gonna train every muscle I got. I'm coming for you, Nemesis. I'm coming for you, Feast.
I thought there was no reason to fight anymore. That was a bit naive, I suppose. I guess it'll be a while longer before I can see my family again. But it's worth it for the sake of Fodlan's future.
A sudden invasion from Nemesis has plunged the Alliance territories into complete disarray. Against such overwhelming strength, my father and his forces had no choice but to retreat. It was certainly prudent for him to avoid a fruitless death, but as things stand, he will not leave much of an impression on history. So, that falls to me. I will do all that I can for the future of Fodlan and the glory of House Gloucester.
A turning point in history can also be a chance for profit. At least that's what I thought. But it's not working out that way. And now we have Nemesis to contend with. I can't catch a break. For our sake, please be victorious. If you lose, everything we've worked so hard for will have been for nothing.
Lady Rhea was injured. How could such a thing happen? Wasn't she supposed to be resting? I can't believe she'd put herself in danger by going into battle in that state. Oh, Goddess, please save Lady Rhea.
Just when I thought bringing the Empire down would end the war, you had to fight where? Against whom? Everyone's all abuzz again. Could another conflict already be looming? Will this war ever end?
The Fell King Nemesis. I imagine he'll be a worthy opponent. How many foes have tasted my blade? He will be an excellent finale. We will be victorious, Professor. I'm perfectly calm, thank you.
I got the gist of it from Claude. Those who slither in the dark. They seem to be descended from humans who were forced deep underground after the goddess defeated them. I thought you knew. Yes, that's what I heard from Claude. They were trying to wipe out the goddess and her followers in hopes of taking back the surface. That's why they called themselves saviors. To their mind, they were.
So we're defending Fodlan's future, huh? Kinda makes my mercenary ambitions feel pretty small. So I'll think about my promise to Captain Gerald to protect you instead. That'll be my reason to fight. If I can get you through this in one piece, that's just as good as defending Fodlan's future, isn't it? I just hope he's watching.
Shambhala, an underground city with an entirely different lineage than the goddess? Strange phenomena, driven by a source totally alien to the crest that we understand. Most unsettling. Could it be magic? Some manner of technology? I would like to know the truth of it all, very much so. I want to know their history, their knowledge. Why do you suppose they chose this place to occupy? I intend to carry out multiple excavations around the city. There is so much to learn. Yet, first we face battle with a king who has defied time. Yes, the excavations can wait, I think.
My big brother challenged Nemesis. He knew he couldn't win. He just did it so that his friends could escape. He emerged from the battle with a terrible injury. It's a miracle he didn't die. Well, maybe he should have been a little less noble. When you're dead, you're dead. Dying to save someone else seems to defeat the purpose. I wouldn't do it. He's alive, and in spite of myself, I'm really proud of him.
Fodlan is essentially no more. We have nothing standing between us and Nemesis. If we're defeated, the whole land will be in great danger. We have no choice but to stake our lives on stopping the enemy.
Life can be tough, you know, but if you've got your friends to help you through, it can be a lot easier. Maybe you butt heads sometimes, but that's okay. That's how you build bonds, right? And I've got friends, Professor, plenty of those. It's true love that seems to have passed me by. But where is my true love to be found? Where is my ray of hope? At this point, I'm just hoping you stay single too. Then at least we can share each other's misery.
I hear some super strong and evil fellas are after Lady Rhea. She just barely made it back to Garreg Mach, and then this has to go and happen? I'll protect Lady Rhea as best I can. And you're gonna do the same thing, aren't you, Professor? Yeah, I know you will. Cut him down, Professor. Get every last one of those guys.
The King of Liberation wakes after 1,000-year slumber. Feels like I'm living a nightmare. I know you're right, but it still doesn't feel real. Maybe this nemesis who's attacking us isn't even the real thing. Either way, the damage and death he's causing are real enough. I will fight to protect those who need it.
When you think of it, as one approaches the end of a war, the sacrifices only grow larger, don't they? The winning side musters their forces and attempts to strike a decisive blow, while those of the losing side make desperate attempts to turn the war in their favor. Neither side will give. I only wish we'd consider those who lose their lives in that struggle. Perhaps, but that doesn't make it any easier to accept your own survival depends on a throw of the dice.
It seems that there are some Shambhala loyalists in Nemesis's forces. As long as they're around, we can expect them to continue with their cruel experiments. Yes, we have to. It's the only way to ensure nobody else will go through what I went through. We must obliterate them in the next battle. It's the only recompense for Edelgard's death.
Before the monastery was completed, there was a massive battle on the Tailteen Plains. In that battle, the warrior Seros defeated the fell king Nemesis and reclaimed the bones and heart of Sothis. Those make up the divine sword that you wield and the crest that you bear. Now, Rhea, Seros, lies helpless. The only one who can defeat this so-called King of Liberation is the inheritor of divine power. You have our full and unwavering support. Only you can do this. Please, save this world.
Please keep quiet. Rhea is sleeping right now. She does not appear to be very well. I beg of you, please do everything you can to prevent an assault from Nemesis.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. A nosy little bird told me some undead jerk is coming to attack us. That's just silly, though. Pure silly. On a personal note, I'm, chewing on an idea. Marriage. I'm thinking of getting hitched. If I do, I may have to move up top. I'd like to leave this place on my own 2 feet, not in a body bag. I want to live. For her. So, please win this one, Professor. Do it for all of us.
Throughout my life, I'm always calculating, always trying to suss out what will happen next. But this? I never could have predicted Nemesis rising from his grave and coming to kill us all. Who'd have figured, you know? Cute, but not that cute right now. Anyway, we're backed into a corner, so may as well make the most of it, yeah?
In the end, I guess it's a good thing Holst isn't joining us. If Nemesis could rough up my buddy that bad, he must be tough as hell. Damn straight. Between the two of us, we can't lose. Not to mention our allies. Death has nothing on us. I swear to avenge Holst. Huh? He doesn't have to be dead to be avenged. Don't play semantics with me.
I won't allow our dream to be snuffed out by one who should be long dead. The coming battle will demonstrate to all the world the power that I, Constance von Nouvelle, wield. You shall know it when you see it.
I came here with my grandpa, but then he fell down, and now he's not moving anymore. Did my grandpa die? I don't know what to do. My mommy and daddy went to a field. They're still not back yet.
Sorry. It looks like I'm going to have to leave you now. One day, I hope you'll give this ring to someone you love as well as I love her.
A military force bearing the crest of flames on its banner marches west to Garreg from Shambhala, attacking nearby cities along the way. Rhea informs the Alliance that the enemy's general is none other than the ancient Fell King Nemesis, and so the Alliance army prepares for their final battle, hoping to put an end to Fodlan's blood-stained history.
What's the plan, my friend? I thought you'd say that. And of course, I'll be joining you. What about the rest of you? Our enemy is a monster of legend. As always, there's not a shred of proof that we can win.
A foolish inquiry, Claude. I must finish what my father started.
Started? Your father ran away before the battle even began.
Well, all the more reason why I, as his heir, cannot flee now.
I'm in. I need to get back at him for hurting my brother. I'm not going to let him get away with it.
Wow, Hilda's serious about this.
I, too, will fight until the end. I wish to protect Fodlan's future.
I feel the same as Lysithea. It would hardly be fitting for Captain Gerald's apprentice to bow out now. I'll show them everything he taught me.
I will give it my all as well. For the Professor, for Claude, and for all of you who helped make me as strong as I am now.
I'm in too. And when we're done, I'm gonna eat tons of steak to celebrate.
This truly is the final battle. At this point, you shouldn't have to ask us, Claude. You know we're with you.
I do know that, Ignatz. But I had to ask, just to make sure.
Look at how reliable you kids have become. You've trained them well, Professor. This Nemesis guy should be arriving soon. Is everyone ready?
It's finally time. I'm on board with that. Let's all make it through this alive. Let's defeat this dusty old king of liberation and put an end to this history of lies. Once we've done that, there'll be nothing holding us back. A new and brighter age will begin. Let's go, my friend. Fodlan's new dawn awaits. Nemesis is here, and with more soldiers than expected.
A swamp, huh? But there's something about it. It looks odd somehow.
Can't breathe. He should not have done that. Be careful. The water is poisonous to the living.
Looks like we better not get near that swamp. Try to avoid it during the fight. Huh? I think they've got some sort of magical link with Nemesis.
Could the magic be protecting him?
Not sure, but we'd better take out his 10 commanders before taking him on. 9 more commanders remaining. We just killed number 10. These can't be the 10 elites, can they? Nah, not likely.
Ceros, I will kill you. Do not get in my way.
So that's Nemesis. You're a crusty old bastard, you know that?
All those who stand in my way will be destroyed!
Watch out, Claude! They're coming for us!
That sword! You bear the crest of flames, just as I do!
No effect? So Nemesis is invincible.
Whoa! The swampland vanished.
Professor, Claude, all the subordinates to Nemesis have been eliminated.
It took some doing, but now's our chance to face off against Nemesis.
Feeble creature, prepare to die!
That one seemed to work. We're almost done. Let's go, my friend.